Watch it burn cold, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that old. I don't think the world is. All right. We all know I can't go past 30 seconds with the songs, and I just start them on whatever they land on randomly. So good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Imbolc morning. It is beautiful out today. This morning, I've already walked the dogs and everything, and I've got a clear day. I was even able to see the moon this morning walking around the pond. So I just wanted to go over some basic Imbolc traditions, I guess, for giggles. So the basic is, this is how the whole groundhog thing came around too, is if it's a nice sunny day, it's usually a blessing to go out and collect enough firewood for the rest of the winter. But if it's a gloomy day and it's too cold to go outside to collect firewood, that means winter is not going to be lasting much longer and you don't need as much. So that's how the whole, if the gopher sees his shadow. So if it's a sunny day and the gopher sees its shadow, that means there's going to be more winter. And if it's a cloudy day and it doesn't, that means it's going to be a shorter winter. I'm going to use my goddess deck today. That's what I was showing out there before, because it is also, Imbolc is a representation of the earth goddess waking up from the earth. And the Oak King defeated the Holly King back in Yule, and he is coming into, not only did the Oak King defeat the Holly King back in Yule, and he's coming back into his full power, the new Holly King was also born at Yule, and he is coming into his youth stage, where he will be seeking a maiden for Beltane. It's usually a cycle like that. It's usually, I guess it depends on where you are. You're either, all the masculines usually come into power around those times. And the feminines are usually a little bit behind, like the maiden's being born now. She's rising, already a maiden from, she doesn't have to go through the baby stage. The world as I see it. Also today is a day usually for baking breads and things like that. So we'll be making a bread. We usually like to make some bread. We make a bunch of breads, and we feed most of it to the ducks over the next couple of days. And coming, which usually works out really well for us too, because this is the time of year here in the South where Canadian geese are coming through. So there's usually extra birds up there to feed. And we're also, this year, we're going for, we're making homemade yogurt. And for some reason, my daughter's teacher is was supposed to be doing some kind of test today, but no one ever showed up to her virtual class, so we don't know what is going on. She heard about 5 other students that showed up this morning, because he texted me and said there may be problems, so I don't know. Maybe the kids got Imbolc off. At least she did. You might hear they're playing games. Her and the other kids, they decided to stay. They decided they're going to stay in the class until the teacher shows up and hang out and chat with each other. People get on me for letting her stay in that, do stuff like that. But you know what? She's getting the social interaction she needs right now. Oh, man. I can't wait till this year is a memory, right? And things start to settle. That's my main thing. I just can't wait till the kids can do things like go back to school, because socializing for them is so important. All right. 3D, 40, 5D, here we go. right, so in the 3D, I see somebody building themselves back up after being thrown out into the cold. I see a very sad Jack of Hearts here. Jack of Hearts is usually very romantic, very charming, very all that, but I feel like he is not really feeling in his zone the way he's all teared up in this deck, or he's very, I don't know. Then we got the Queen of Swords, right afterwards, wearing the slight mask. And I just feel like maybe the Jack's upset because he couldn't get through to the Queen of Swords. I feel like everybody felt like there was a whole lot of games being played, right? And then we got the Three of Pentacles here at the end. Right, so it's a way of, I think there's a lot of trying to figure out how to get past this stage. What? One person's upset, one person's wearing a mask, whatever. And it just feels like a lot of game playing. And everybody really is just tired of these. Yeah, tired. I think everybody, both sides of the collective, divine, masculine, feminine, doesn't matter. Everybody is tired of all these little weird head games and mind games going on. Everybody just wants to build a solid team. I'm going to go for this year, since this is a turn of the year reading, or at least from now until Ostara. All right. Because once again, here on the 40 line, so on the 3D line, it's a slightly depressed Jack of Cups and a Queen of Swords wearing a mask, right? On the 40 line, it is the very controlling King of Pentacles, the very fiery Queen of Wands, the Knight of Cauldron wanting to bring in love messages, but the Five of Pentacles worrying about money, losing money, being put into an impoverished situation, or being judged, being persecuted in some kind of way. A lot of that worries with the blockages. But still, once again, we've got our rite of passage, right? Stepping stones. Don't be afraid to use them stepping stones. Watch where you're going. Be vigilant while you're taking these rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? Be careful. Be smart about it. Don't be super duper controlling. Don't be bouncing off the walls, right? Find that middle ground. Find that middle ground. And if you're going to speak about somebody, speak in love. All right, 5D line. Remember, I put my goddess deck down for this one. All right. I see, y'all don't get mad at me for this, all right? I see with a lot of the rising of the divine feminine, right? A lot of really coming into the power has brought a lot of distorted wisdom, right? And that could be distorted both ways, either being so in your ego and in your power that you're pushing other people away, or being so sure that being so sure in a timeline that it's not a healthy timeline. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is not following your intuition. This is following a program or following your ego. This is not following your intuition. The 5D is really worried about that. And it's really telling you to take a look back again. All right? Take a look back again. But in this time, don't look back on all the shitty stuff. This time, try to look back on some of the good things you did learn. A lot of times people go, oh, I learned this lesson from this person, and it is never trust a cheater, or blah, 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 and this is what I learned is, never date a Scorpio, or that's not what you learned. That's not what you learned. Look for the good of why you came in to pads with another person. Look for what knowledge they shared with you. Look for what inspired you. Look for all of that. All of that. I mean, it's not just going, oh, they made me mad and that triggered me to be a better person and that is why our paths crossed. No, there was a lot of deep conversations. If you've had these type of connections, there was some deep, deep conversations that you had with the opposite of your divine self that you need to pull back on and remember. because you're burying a lot of knowledge in one solid lesson and you're forgetting the rest of the damn class. It was not just about, like, and I say this with the standardized testings, right? It's not just about being able to take the test and pass the test. Did you actually absorb the knowledge? Do you still remember what it was that you really learned in the blissful moments, in those connections? Look back for those bits, because I feel like a lot of people lost those bits in doing this whole, first you're mad, first it's denial, then you're mad, and then, and then it's like, oh, well, what did I learn? I learned all these, how to watch out for all this toxic stuff. All right, now look for what the good is, because there's never been, if you were in love with someone, there was a reason you loved them. Now you need to find the reasons for your love. All right. The last card we have here is the Princess of Cups, right? So I find the Princess to be mostly about finding that creative energy, and the Princess is really like, in this deck, especially for me, she's really about opening yourself up to synchronicities, right? And seeing the synchronicities in life and how everything seems to be a repeating program for you. Like, even in my life, right? So growing up, I had a Taurus mother, a Pisces sister. My dad was an Aquarian on the Capricorn cusp, right? And I'm an Aries. Now I live in a house. I live in a mother-daughter where my mother's here, so I still got the Taurus in the house. I also have my son, who is a Capricorn born on an Aquarian cusp, and my daughter, who's a Pisces. So clearly, a lot of my lessons in life are around learning how to deal with those kinds of energies and not being able to just write them off. I have to actually deal with them all. So yeah, open yourself up. Look up your charts. Look up your north nodes. Really focus on yourself this year. If you really want to make changes and you really want to move into a new timeline, new headspace, break these toxic, freaking infinite cycles, right? You got to learn what you're supposed to be learning. You got to be vigilant of the good, vigilant of the bad. All right. Well, that's my cards and coffee for this morning, y'all. I have got to go. I got to go get more groceries. I got to go check the yogurt. I got to go bake some bread and get the bread machine going. I love you, blessed Imbolc. We will be doing a ritual tonight in the Coven, the Silver Cord. So join us over there. Like, share, subscribe, spank my bell, all that good jazz. I love you guys. Blessed be all those who walk these weird and windy paths with me.